Hello, my book friends. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new here. I am glad you found me. My name is Jules. I like to read books, talk about books, share my thoughts with you. So that is what I am here to do today. We are going to talk about my May reading wrap up. Got my May journal done. All my books, stars, everything. Always talk about the stats first. So, my stats. I read a total of 19 books for the month of May. My average rating for those was 3.94. Total pages read was 6,587 pages. Of those 19 books, 13 were physical copies, 5 were audiobooks, 1 was an ebook. As I have mentioned before, some of those physical books I did have audio for, but I only count the audio if I strictly just read the audio. Listen to the audio, because you can't read an audio. For the genres read, I had 3 middle grade, 6 cozies, 2 fantasy, 2 romance, 5 thrillers, and 1 sci-fi. That sci-fi one, man. I actually did not have a DNF this month. Let's get to the books. So we are going lowest to highest on the star ratings. I'm not going to pull the physical copies out because some of them I may have borrowed or their audio, whatnot. I will pop the picture up. If I have a dedicated vlog for any of these reads, I will link that in the description and you can go there to get all of my thoughts. I'm starting with my 2 stars. So I'm recording on my phone today because my camera was dead. So I obviously forgot to plug it in and all my backup batteries were not charged. So here we are. So I cannot look up certain things on my phone. So if you see me looking this way, it's because I'm looking at my laptop. So my first 2-star read is Wayward by Amelia Hart. I read this for Liv's Library for her Patreon pick. This was our May monthly pick. We actually have our discussion this Thursday. And I'm quite interested to see how it goes. So I did not have a good time with this book. So I do not read a lot of historical fiction books. We know that. So a lot of books that are set in like very early time frame, I'm usually not a fan of. This book bounced back and forth between 1619 and 1942. So they're both very much still in the past. It goes between 3 women in across 5 centuries. So it has witches in it. It talks about unplanned pregnancy, pregnancy termination. There was just a really icky part in there with forced SA and some incestual stuff. I was not a fan. So I almost DNF'd it. I did finish it. There were some parts that were somewhat enjoyable, and that's kind of why I gave it a 2-star instead of a 1 star. I don't really rate 1 star. Like if it's a 1 star, it's a DNF, which it was close to that. But I did enjoy some parts and not other parts. But anyway, so yeah, it was not my cup of tea. My other 2-star read was Annie Bot by Sierra Greer, and this was not it for me. I have a whole dedicated vlog to this, so I would suggest going there and checking that out. Obviously, I read this as reading a book outside of my comfort zone, and it was just not a good time. And yeah, head there if you want all my thoughts on it. It was interesting. Moving on to my 3-star reads, I had 3 books in this category. The first one is Mother-Daughter Murder Night by Nina Simone. I read this one for my in-person book club. This is actually in a dedicated vlog that I did for books that have mother in the title. It was just an okay read, so you can go check out that vlog if you want to get my thoughts on it. My next 3-star is Dear Henry Love Edith by Becca Kinzer. This was a book club pick for Keisha's Revive book club, and it was just okay. Nothing spectacular about it. It said it was a Christian fiction, but I really didn't get anything Christian about it. It was really just kind of a silly rom-com, if you will. The conversation with the ladies when we had our book discussion was pretty funny. So there were some parts in here. The reason I gave this a 3-star is because there were some pretty like just ridiculously far-fetched funny stuff that went on. So because it made me laugh, it got an okay star from me. And then my last 3-star was Diavola by Jennifer Marie Thorne. We read this for Gabby's book troop, and we just had the book discussion yesterday, and a lot of people seem to really like it. I did not have a great time with it. I thought it was a very, very slow burn. And it was a haunting. So it was just not that exciting for me. So like the first part of the book was just literally a family in Italy on vacation, and the family is dysfunctional. And, you know, it just kind of goes over like how they're treating the main character. Like she's just kind of like, she's a black sheep and she can't do anything right. And so it just kind of goes over that. And then she starts seeing things, but so do other people in the family, but they don't want to admit that the places that they're staying at is haunted. Something latches on to them and makes them do things or see things that aren't really there. And it was just okay for me. But apparently a lot of people really loved it. Moving on to my 4-star reads, I had 8 4-star reads this month. So the first one was Finley Donovan Rolls the Dice by El Casamano. If you've read the series, then you know what they're about. They're just a good time for me. Like, I just love them. Even though some of the things are just ridiculous, and you know that would not probably happen, I still just had a really good time with it. So it was fun. I love the audios for them. The narrator is just hilarious. It makes me chuckle. All around good time. The next 2 were books that I read for Bookathon at the beginning of May. The first one is The Edge of In Between by Lorelei Savarin. I don't know if that's how you say that. So this was a Secret Garden retelling. So this was our buddy read for Bookathon, and I originally rated this a 3-star. Because I enjoyed it, but I kind of felt like there was like a slow part in the middle, and I wasn't really vibing with it, and then I was kind of making me tired. But I could have just been that at the times I was reading it, I was tired. So I did end up, after the discussion with everybody, because we did a buddy read book discussion over it. It was a great discussion, and I ended up bumping my rating up to a 4-star on it. So I definitely would recommend it as a good middle grade retelling of that. My next 4-star read was The Stitchers by Lorraine. I don't know if you say it's Lorraine or Lorraine Lawrence. It is the first book in the Fright Watch series. It was a good time. It was just a good, fun, spooky middle grade book. So I did do a Bookathon reading vlog. So this one and The Edge of In Between is in that vlog. So I will link that below if you want to go hear my thoughts on either of those books. The next one is The Mother-in-Law by Sally Hepworth. I love Sally Hepworth books, so I was already anticipating that it was going to be a good read for me, and it really was. So this is in my mother-themed vlog that I recently posted, so you can go hear my thoughts on that if you want. My next 4-star was She's Not Sorry by Mary Kubica, and this one was a little crazy. I was thinking I was going to like this one, but I was not expecting it to like have as much of a chaos as it did. So in this one, we're following main character. She is a nurse, like an ER nurse, and she has a teenage daughter, and she's treating someone that's in a coma that has jumped off of a bridge but did not die. So there are talks of suicide in it. But then we're also following along. There's like a neighborhood like attacker. He's like breaking into people's houses and attacking women. So we're kind of following that too. Then there's like a twist and another twist, and like it was just a crazy time. So I did have a good time. I love a good book that at the end I'm just like, oh, what happened? What just happened? So it was a good time. I liked it. My next 2 4-stars were Cozy Mysteries. So I have Flipped for Murder by Maddie Day. Had a great time with this. This is in my recent Cozy Mystery vlog. And then Buried Secrets by Peg Cochran. Also a good time. That is also in my Cozy Mystery vlog. So when I rate books, I obviously rate them based on the type of book they are. So I'm going to rate a fantasy book different than a thriller book or a middle grade book or a cozy mystery. So I am rating it based on the genre. And I had a really good time with these cozies. So that is why they got 4 stars for me. Then my last 4-star was an e-arc that I had, and that was Every Time I Go on Vacation, Somebody Dies by Catherine Mack. And this was not what I expected it to be. but it was a good time. I'm not going to talk about this much because I will have an e-arc review vlog that I will put out hopefully soon, depending on how long. I have one book that I just am not having a great time with and I can't get through it. So we shall see. But this was a good time. It's following an author, well, multiple authors, I guess I should say, and they are on like a book retreat. And the main character, it's like her 10th book getting ready to come out, and she's kind of done with the series and just doesn't want to do it anymore. And her main character guy that's in her book, she's thinking about killing him off, and he is on this book retreat with them and finds out that she's thinking about killing him off in the book. And then he starts having these little near-death accidents, and he thinks that she has hired somebody to like off him. And she's like, I didn't want you dead for real. So it's funny. I did listen to the audio of it. It has a lot of footnotes, and those footnotes are kind of explained in the narration. I would highly suggest, if you pick this book up, to get the audio book with it, because it seems like it would be very confusing if you did not have the audio for it. But I had a good time with it, and I was really surprised at how much I enjoyed it. So moving on to my 5-star reads, I had 6 books in this category, which is actually pretty dang good. So 4 and 5 stars were on point for me. So I had a great reading month for me. So my first 5-star was The Clackety by Laura Sinf. This is also in my Bookathon reading vlog, and you can get all my thoughts on that. It was a really great time for a spooky middle grade. I had a fantastic time with it. Next is A Mother Would Know by Amber Garza. This was pleasantly surprising. I had never read from this author. This is also in my mother themed vlog, so go there to get all my thoughts on it. I will definitely read from this author again. Had a good time with it. The next is Darling Girls by Sally Hepworth. Again, love Sally Hepworth. This book was crazy. So there was a twist at the end that I definitely did not see coming. This book does have a lot of triggers of like foster care, child abuse, neglect, abandonment, sexual abuse. Like, it has a lot of triggers, but it was a really good book, and I definitely did not see the ending coming, the very ending twist. So that's always a plus. So yeah, I highly recommend pick it up. If you don't have triggers of any of those things, definitely look up the triggers for those before you're reading any of that. I don't personally have triggers that affect me, so I just roll with it. I just roll with it and have a good time. And then my next 5-star was Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas, doing a monthly read along with Chloe on this. So we're reading a book every month. Fantastic. If you haven't read the series, there's no way for me to explain it. I'm already like halfway through it. So Throne of Glass series is the first Sarah J. Maas books I've ever read. I do have a vlog where I read my very first Sarah J. Maas book, which was Throne of Glass, and you can go see all my reactions and thoughts to it. But I was hooked. Let me tell you, hooked. Love it. I love it. I love Selena. I love everything about this book. It has so much energy and girl power, and just like, it's just a fantastic series, and I cannot say enough about it. I would say if you have not read any Sarah J. Maas, start with Throne of Glass. Pick it up, read it. You'll get hooked. You'll love it. My next 5-star is Live and Let Chai by Bree Baker. This cozy was such a fun time. So this also is in my recent cozy mystery vlog, so you can go there to get all my thoughts on it. But if you haven't read a cozy before, this is one that you would want to start with. It's just a good time, and it has all the summer vibes, and it's not a long series. So if you wanted to binge a series, which I'm gonna do that, this would be a good one to do, because some of these cozy mystery series have like 25 to 30 books in them, which a couple of the series that I collect for cozy mysteries are that big. I collect Joanne Fluke and Leslie Meyer, and both of their series have 30 books in them. So they're big series. So definitely would highly recommend checking this cozy out if you have not. But anyway, go check out the cozy mystery vlog. And I saved the best for last. So my last 5-star read for the month of May was Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. So I do have a vlog that I'm working on that this is going to be in, but it's not out yet because I'm still reading books for it. So it will be out with all of my thoughts on it. Just know If you are an Abby Jimenez fan, you will love this book. If you have not read any Abby Jimenez books, what are you doing with your life? So go pick them up. Yeah, definitely this is a good series. Part of Your World, Yours Truly, and Just for the Summer. All great. I gave them all 5 stars. Loved them. I did say I wasn't sure if I love Just for the Summer as much as I love Part of Your World and Yours Truly, and I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've read them, and I kind of feel like I want to go back and reread them. But I did purchase the paperbacks of all 3 of them, so I can go back. I probably will go back and tab the first 2 because I did not have them physically. So yeah, I'm probably gonna reread those at some point. So that is it. That is my wrap up. I had a fantastic reading month. June is going to be hopefully even better. So go check out my June TBR to see what my reading plans are for the month. And yeah, if you like this video, give it a like, subscribe if you are not. And until my next video, friends, be yourself, be awesome, be kind. Bye.